Auntie Irene, I think Abeko is not speaking well. That day I felt sad. I didn't say anything. I said to speak, but when I came home, I felt very, very sad. This is somebody, my son is older than about a year or two. And even at that age, she knows my son is not speaking well. My name is Irene Wallace. I am a mother of two. I have two boys. Abeko is the eldest. He is older than Jojo, about 5 years, because his dad went for further studies for 5 years before he came back. Abeko, let me start from pregnancy. I didn't have any challenge. It was normal and smooth. I had normal delivery. And growing up, you know, very boisterous. He walked, he did everything, but the speech wasn't coming. Because there was no child too at home, I think that was also a factor, but we thought he would be okay. But at a point, we noticed that the speech had delayed, because as somebody told me, boys normally don't speak early. But when I gave birth to the second one, he started speaking very early. So we took it like that, but at a point he became worried, and I was here alone because the dad was outside the country. I took him to, somebody advised us to seek help. So I took him to the mobile clinic, then at mobile clinic, to see a pediatrician who was there. And he asked whether he's able to hear, and I said, oh, he hears. And he said, what shows he hears? And I said, oh, even when he's in the bedroom and there's an advert on telly that he really likes, you run back and come and listen. And when they are singing, he sings along. But he hasn't even said mama yet. And he said, well, he wouldn't know whether he's able to hear or not. So he requested for a test at 37. He referred us to 37. And we went to 37 for the auditory test. We did, and the doctor said, oh, he's okay. His hearing he has no problem with hearing. He hears the minutest sound. So he rather referred us to a speech therapist at Hacho. It was there that the speech therapist asked a lot of questions and said, oh, your son is autistic. But Jojo, the second one, has no problem. It's okay. He started speaking very early in life. He started writing. He's okay. Now he's in SS. So for him, he has no problem. I think autism, it's not a disease. Autistic children are not handicapped in any way. I believe they are children with different abilities. That is why we don't know. We think what everyone is doing, they should do, but they are not able to do. But in their own way, they are able to do certain things that you cannot do. My son can spin around for a long time. Will never feel dizzy. But me, if I try it a little, I'll fall. He is interested in music, like he is interested in photography. It takes time for them to come out. That is what I have noticed. People who don't understand him, when they see him, some people even think your child is mad. I remember when his speech wasn't coming up, this flat, there was a neighbor's child. He is older than them. They got and one day the little girl saw me and said, Auntie Irene, I think Abeko is not speaking well. That day I felt sad. I didn't say anything. I said to speak, but when I came home, I felt very, very sad. This is somebody, my son is older than about a year or two. And even at that age, she knows my son is not speaking well. So it gets to you. When somebody says something negative, it gets you as a mother. I mean, raising children is difficult. That's alone. And then having a special child, it makes it much difficult. Me, sometimes I use my case for example. But people have different opinions. Some people want to take their children to the prayer grounds or prayer centers to be prayed for. I don't know. God does miracles and is still doing it even now. But sometimes it's good to seek professional help as well. But sometimes if you are not careful, they will tell you your child is mad and they are trying to deliver him or her from the madness. But that is not the issue. Autism is not madness. They are children with slow development, but gradually they will pick up. I think the government will have to take some of these things up. I indicated that their training is very expensive. You have to look for an attendant which you have to pay monthly, apart from paying the school fees. So it's very, very costly. That is what the government should do to assist parents with such children. The Bible says that children are a heritage from Him. And I want to believe that God is not so wicked to give us children that in our estimation we think they are no good. Everything is for a purpose. So I think that when God gives us such children, it behooves on us to ask Him what He wants us to do with them. They all have hidden talents that can be unearthed with patience and with time and dedication. But when we throw our hands in the air, we've given up and they become destitute on the streets. I want to say that having a child with a special need, it's not an easy job. If you are not a strong person, it can break you down. But when you have a child with special needs, it's not a matter of always crying. It's a time to pray, you pray, and then you act. You have patience for your child, and then you train him or her like you're training all your other children. They lag behind because of the slowness, but gradually they'll pick up. So we should have patience with them and exhibit much love to them as well. Wow, this is the very, very first time I'm being celebrated like this because of my son. And I want to say a very big thank you to Paul's Ghana and Trillium Company for giving me these gifts for Mother's Day 2024. I'm very grateful.